Welcome to Prepping on the Bayou, previously called In Time Watchers Post, with Sister Susan Mayu. The channel has a new name now because I am taking it in another direction. As you know, in End Time Watchers Post, I would inform people of current end time events that were happening in the world and encouraging them to be spiritually ready for the Lord's return. And that was a good thing, but I felt something was missing. So that's why I changed it to Prepping on the Bayou, and I'll explain why. The Lord tells us in the Bible to endure until He returns. So what I'm adding to the channel is to share prepping skills with those who are seeking to be a bit more self-sufficient. We look around and we see things like high fuel prices, high food prices, and supply chain disruptions, fertilizer shortages, natural disasters like the flood we just went through, and fires and droughts. And it's all starting to look and feel like we're getting into the beginning of tribulation, maybe? I felt like the channel needed to show the old ways, like how people made it through the Great Depression, as well as living off the land and stocking up, which is called prepping these days. We're very blessed to be living in central Louisiana. We can grow food in the garden year-round, planting and harvesting something every month of the year to help with the grocery bill. Each month, I will share a list of plants that we can direct seed into the garden. You can screenshot it and go to the store and know exactly what you will need. And for those who think they don't have enough money, you can go to Dollar Tree and find seed packets as inexpensive as 50 cents a piece. We are in July 2026, and we are just coming out of the floodwaters in central Louisiana. This is the bank and the family dollar store, and this is a friend's house. And this is my niece's house. She was being rescued shortly before dark by boat, and the water was still rising. Most of us have lost our gardens and are needing to replant them. So here is a list of what seeds can be planted directly into the garden in the month of July, with the dates on the side of the crop telling how long you have left to plant before it's too late. The reason for the dates is because you don't want to plant a crop right now and the frost in November comes in and kills the plant before you have time to harvest any fruit off of them. That's why the planting dates are important. Don't plant when it's too late. You're just wasting seed and time and money when you can take that seed and plant it next year and get a crop, a harvest. This you can take a picture or a screenshot of and bring it with you to the store when you go get your seeds. This is a list of the things that can be direct seeded into the garden this month. We have cantaloupe, and you can see the last planting date for cantaloupe will be August the 1st. So you only have this month left. And you have collard greens, you have cucumbers, you have okra. Okra's running out as well. You on August, only this month left in okra. And I would advise you to plant the short variety, the little short pods. I wouldn't do the longhorn because the time you have left before the frost will get them. So a fast producing variety. And then we have southern peas, which are like black-eyed peas, purple hull peas, brown crowded peas, and a large number of other peas that can be planted in this month. And then there are pumpkins. The small pie pumpkins are considered hard shell pumpkins, and they will keep most of the winter. You can actually not have to process them. You can keep them whole sitting on a shelf in your house or in a box. And then there's what the Southerners call shallots. I think they're originally called buncheon onions, a type of green onion. But we grow them here, plant them from bulbs, and they do very well. The flavor in your food is well worth trying them. And once they are established and producing, you can harvest off of them all winter long. You can also plant summer squashes until August the 15th. They are yellow squash, the small crookneck or the straight neck, which are even bigger. And you can also do zucchinis this time of year, scalloped, which are the patty pan type squashes. Just be on the lookout for squash vine borer. Can be very destructive to pumpkins and squash planted at this time of year. The borer is a grub-like caterpillar that burrows into the stem and hollows it out, causing the plant to wilt and die. And if you have a major problem with these insects in the past, treat them regularly with 7 dust. Next, we have something called winter squash. And new people just getting into the garden don't realize you do not plant winter squash in the winter. That's not why it's called winter squash. It's called winter squash because they are hard-skinned variety, like your pumpkins, and they keep longer. A summer squash would be a soft-skinned variety like we just looked at. The yellow squash and the zucchini, they're all soft-skinned, so you have to cut them, freeze them, can them, process them some kind of way to have them to keep. But the winter squashes will actually keep into the winter. You plant them all at the same time in the summer. But the ones that you harvest that are winter squash, they will keep up until Thanksgiving, Christmas, and sometimes beyond. Just keep an eye on them in your storage room, your pantry room. And if they start to get a bad spot on them, cut the bad spot off, use the squash. If it gets a little too far gone, you can give it to your chickens. These are some of the varieties of the winter squash. I can't pronounce them all. You can read them for yourself. There's acorn, carnival, butternut, the red curry, the pie pumpkin, the spaghetti squash, and sweet dumpling, the sweet meat pumpkin, and the turban. And finally, watermelons can still be planted this month, but only this month. So if you're going to put you a patch down, now is the time. July is also the month to plant these other seeds into either styrofoam cups with small holes poked at the bottom for drainage, or actual cell packs like the professionals use. They will be your transplants for the fall garden in September, around 6 to 8 weeks away, which will save you a lot of money because a pack of seeds from the store for 50 cents is way cheaper than a 6-pack of transplants for $5.75 in September when you're ready to do your garden. So this month we plant cell packs of cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and Chinese or Napa cabbage. Remember, these seeds don't go into the garden until September, and preferably they go in as transplants. It's too late for tomato and pepper seeds right now, but you can still find transplants of them at local nurseries and Walmart and hardware stores. You do have time to plant those into your garden. And when you do, remember to water them well and give them a little shade until they get over the initial transplant shock, about a week or 2. That July sun is very hot, and your plants can use all the help they can get. Also, if you have access to older tomato plants, you can clip off the suckers and put them into cells of damp potting soil. They will make root in about 1 or 2 weeks, and you can use them as free transplants for your fall harvest. This only works for tomatoes and sweet potato slips. It won't work for any other crop. This is a Louisiana vegetable planting guide. You can find it at LSU Ag Center, which is Louisiana State University Agriculture Center. On the internet, it tells you when to plant here in Louisiana, and it also lets you know how much seed to buy per 100-foot row. So if your row is a little shorter, just divide down to what you need. It also tells how far apart to put your plants. I suggest you screenshot this or go online and make a printed copy to keep on hand. Other parts of it tell which kind of plants grow best here, like Roma or cherry tomatoes. Also, what kind of fertilizer to use and how often to use it per plant. If you are from another state, you can look up your planting guide from your agriculture department online. It is a gardener's goldmine of information. I even bring copies to my church and share with new gardeners of all ages. And now for the End Time Watchers part of the video. This week it's on the Old Farmer's Almanac. Just posted something. It is a magazine that people have trusted for over 225 years. They come out with a new one every year. It covers long-range weather forecasts, planting charts, sunrise and setting times and dates, which are basically things that gardeners use to plan their crops. It reads, "One of the biggest weather stories of the year has arrived. El Nino is officially here." It is one of the key climate signals that meteorologists use to predict the forecast of the coming winter of 2026-2027. Yes, it's summer, but the clues that shape winter begin appearing long before the leaves start to turn. So why does El Nino matter? Think of the Pacific Ocean as the Earth's most powerful weather engine. When its waters warm in just the right places, the fast-moving rivers of air that steer storms often shift its path. That change can influence where rain, snow, and cold air are most likely to travel across North America. El Nino is one of the strongest climate signals forecasters watch to predict what is coming in the 26-27 winter season. The weather experts are now predicting for late November, in December, January, and February as being colder and wetter in the south. It definitely can affect gardeners and home heating bills. We will discuss in later videos ways to winterize your garden and prepare for this as we get closer to that season, and how to stock up for winter from your garden to help save money, to eat healthier, and to teach survival skills like self-sufficiency to your own family. And now the part for my prayer warrior friends. Please put these in your prayers. The end time revival, I'm always praying for that, for it to start on a massive scale with salvations, healings, and miracles worldwide. Prayers also for those recovering from the flood here in central Louisiana, along with those recovering from that terrible earthquake in Venezuela as well. And also Hurricane Bavi, which is Category 3, that is currently bearing down on Taiwan and China, as well as the flood victims that are recovering from the dam that broke in China. And finally, prayers for the Christian church worldwide. It has been the most persecuted people on earth, but few know about it because the mainstream media refuses to cover it. So prayers to free the persecuted church, because prayer does change things.